I thought my friend was trying to steal my husband. The truth was much worse. Guess who called me today? I said to Will. We were vegging on the couch, me laying with my legs across his lap. He was rubbing my calf absent-mindedly, engrossed in an episode of The Office we'd already seen at least 20 times. Who? He asked, taking a sip of his beer. Sasha Watson. Really? He tore his eyes from the screen to give me a wry smile. Haven't heard you talk about her in a while. What's she on now, husband number 4? 3. Will grunted. She asked if we could put her up later this week while she's in town. Something about visiting her estranged mother who's in assisted living. She wants to stay with us? Just her? I nodded. Whatever, Will said, turning back to the TV. What can it hurt? I pulled my legs away and sat up to stare at my husband. What? Are you serious? I don't see why not. Will. What about your project deadline, won't you be busy? If it's too much of a hassle for you. Come on, Nell, don't pin it on me. Why don't you just say yes? You'll rack up some good karma. Besides, it would be good for you to have a friend around for a while. You've been self-isolating again. Okay, I said, getting up. I'm not having this conversation right now. Will shrugged. Suit yourself. I think you should tell her yes, though. I rolled my eyes, picked up a book from the coffee table, and went to go read in bed. I was annoyed and a little hurt, but I guess at my core I knew Will was right. By the time I was falling asleep, I had mostly talked myself into helping Sasha out. I texted Sasha the next day. She was ecstatic, insisting it would be just like when we were roommates. I was dreading her visit. It wasn't that I hated Sasha, not by any means, but we hadn't so much as talked in years. Plus, she had a history of coming on too strongly to married men, and I wasn't thrilled at the thought of her flirting with Will. Sasha arrived on Thursday with a stuffed suitcase and the inviting smile I remembered from our college days. She dropped the suitcase when I opened the door, and ran to embrace me tightly. Oh my God, it's so good to see you, Nell. I'm sorry it took me so long to come back. I should have stayed in touch. It's no big deal, Sash, I said, awkwardly patting her back. I could have tried a little harder too. Sasha pulled away to look at me. No, I totally get it. You have a busy life. I think we all do, at this point. She glanced over my shoulder, into the house. Is hubby here? I can't wait to meet him. He'll be home around 6. Come on in, I'll show you your room. Sasha and I spent a good while catching up over large glasses of Moscato. She went on about her third husband, how much she loved him, and how she thought he really would be the one she would spend the rest of her life with. She also mentioned multiple times how jealous she was of my relationship with Will, despite knowing next to nothing about us. Needless to say, this made me uncomfortable. Later, she insisted on helping with dinner despite my protests. She carried on, laughing and reminiscing about old times while I smiled and nodded. I was already exhausted, and had 2 more days of this. Sunday couldn't come soon enough. When Will came home, Sasha's enthusiasm only increased. Will had heard my many stories about Sasha, her numerous boyfriends, the failed marriages, the multiple times she was the other woman that they'd never met. Sasha lavished Will with attention. Halfway through dinner I'd lost my appetite and was knee-deep in regret. You really caught a cute one, Nell, Sasha said, dabbing at her ruby-painted lips with a napkin. My Jeremy isn't nearly as cute as you, but what he lacks in looks, he makes up for in the bedroom. She winked at Will. I almost opened my mouth to tell Sasha off, but Will raised an eyebrow at me, and I sighed. Will is a great guy, I said, moving my fork around my plate listlessly. Smart, sweet, and yeah, I guess he's pretty cute. Will and Sasha laughed, and conversation resumed. I did my best to grin and bear it, and at the very least the two seemed to have an enjoyable night. Friday was much the same. I spent some quality one-on-one time with Sasha, going out to our old favorite restaurant for lunch and chatting over drinks. I don't know if it was the wine or just familiarity, but I actually began to enjoy myself a little. Trust me, I never forgot how manipulative Sasha could be, or how easily she could spin the truth, but she was undeniably kind of fun to be around. My comfort around her wouldn't last long, however. During after-dinner drinks that night, I began to notice something strange. Will was talking to Sasha less. He was asking fewer questions, not engaging nearly as much, and I caught him throwing odd glances her way. Something in his face read mistrust. All the same, Sasha chatted her way through the evening amiably, her ever-bubbly self. As we went off to bed for the night, I couldn't help but notice that Will's goodnight to Sasha was cold. Almost scornful. In the morning, Will kissed me on the forehead as usual before running out the door to the office. The big project he had due next week unfortunately meant that Saturday was another workday for him. I woke up a bit later to find a piece of paper next to my pillow. Blearily, I sat up and read the note scrawled therein. We need to talk later. Make sure you're not around Sasha. The note had me a little on edge as Sasha and I drank our coffee alongside a light breakfast. She wasn't acting unusual in any way, so I wasn't sure exactly what bomb Will was going to drop on me. After we ate, Sasha headed out to visit her mom and I took the opportunity to call Will. Hey babe, he said upon answering. Hey yourself. What was with the note? Did you give Sasha my phone number? I sat down at the kitchen table and took a sip of lukewarm coffee. No, why would I? I don't know, but she got it somehow. Weird. She's been texting you or something? Yeah, it started yesterday. It started off normal, thanking me for letting her stay, etc., but it got weird. She began implying that there was some kind of, sexual agreement between us. What? I hissed. Are you serious? Yeah. And they've just been getting worse. I can't believe her. After we put her up? This is. I can't believe it. I'll show you tonight. I think it would be best if we confront her. Okay, I sniffled. We'll get it sorted out, Will soothed. Love you, Nell. Love you too. I tried to keep my cool until Will got home. When Sasha returned from her visit, I made up excuses to leave her on her own. I went to Will's home office and shut myself in, spending at least an hour scouring Sasha's Facebook page for signs that she was cracking. When Will got home, I heard him brush off Sasha's greeting. He came into the office and shut the door behind him. She's escalating the messages, he said. His face was pale, and seeing him appear so at odds made my skin prickle. She started to suggest some pretty dark stuff, Nell. I think we should ask her to leave. Let me see. I want to know exactly what's being said. Will unlocked his phone and handed it to me. His jaw was clenched tight as he watched me pull up the messages. I read through them with growing horror and disgust. Meet me in the basement after dinner. I've been waiting for so long. I have something far tastier for you than Nell's dry roast. I know you don't really love Nell. Let's leave together, tonight. I could get something to poison her dinner. But a knife would be faster. I love you, Will. I want to be with you forever, whatever the cost. I finished reading, my mouth hanging open while tears blurred my vision. Are we in trouble, Will? No, Will assured me, though he avoided my eyes as he said it. She's probably not dangerous. Let's just go ask her about it. Taking a deep breath, I followed Will to the living room. Sasha wasn't there. We heard a clanking from the kitchen and turned to find Sasha standing with a knife in her hand. She was smiling. "Hey. I hope you don't mind. Thought I'd start dinner while you two were busy." She went to the counter where a peeled onion was sitting on a cutting board. She started dicing, and Will and I exchanged glances. "Sash, we need to talk," I began. "Would you mind putting down the knife?" Sasha did as I asked and gave me a puzzled look. "What's up?" "It's the text messages," Will said, crossing his arms. "They need to stop immediately, or we're going to have to ask you to leave. That, or we're calling the cops." Sasha's eyes widened. "I don't know what you're talking about." She looked at me. "What text messages, Nell?" "Don't play dumb, Sasha," I replied coldly. "I read them all. I know what you've been saying, what you're planning." "I don't." "No, let us not draw it out. Show her, Will." Will brought up the messages and handed the phone over to Sasha. She nervously took it and read. "Good Lord," she mumbled. "Guys, I didn't write these. That's not my number." "What?" Will asked. "But the first message, you thanked me for letting you stay over." "Why are you denying this, Sasha? I know about your history. I know you were sleeping with Bobby Crichton while he was dating Maria. You kinda set a precedent for yourself, don't you think?" I expected Sasha to defend herself further. Instead, her eyes fell to the phone still in her hand. You guys should see this." Will took the phone and I read it over his shoulder. Icy fingers danced down my spine. "The other one is cute, but I want you all to myself. And I always get my way. I need to be with you tonight, Will. Don't make me wait, or I'll kill them both." "Oh my God," I said. "Who?" "Nell," Will said, gripping my shoulder and staring just beyond the kitchen. "Have we checked the basement lately?" "No," I whispered in response, dread creeping into my brain like an unwelcome worm. "Why would we need to?" The clicking of the doorknob turning startled all of us, and we watched as the basement door swung open. A thin woman wearing a torn, dirty red cocktail dress emerged, hunched over and staring intensely at the three of us. Her lips were cracked and smeared with blood. "I've waited long enough, Will," she said, her voice dry and strained. "We're going to be together now." She smiled grotesquely. In one hand she held a cell phone, and in the other a ball-peen hammer. "Monica? What the hell are you doing?" Will demanded, his eyes wide with horror. "What the fuck are you doing in my house?" "You said I could stay anytime, Will. You promised. Are you taking back your promise, Will?" Her eyes glistened, and tears ran down her dirt-smeared cheeks. Monica. She was Will's manager. I was completely at a loss as I watched this woman I had known for 3 years twitch like a feral animal. Her typically composed hair was a rat's nest, and her bare feet were filthy. She brought with her a pungent smell of piss mixed with standing water. "Will, do something," I begged, holding onto his elbow tightly. "Monica, it's okay. We can figure this out, just wait 1 second. Don't do anything rash, please." But it was clear that anger and hurt had already poisoned her mind. She twisted her mouth into a snarl and suddenly rushed at me, hammer raised high above her head. I didn't have enough time to react rationally, and only cowered with my eyes squeezed shut, hoping that Will would protect me. Schlick. I opened my eyes to find that Sasha had picked up the kitchen knife and stabbed Monica in the rib cage. She withdrew the knife quickly and raised her arm to strike again. Monica howled with pain and dropped the hammer. She twisted out of the way of Sasha's next attack and scrambled back, clutching her wound. Will dived for the hammer, and Monica's eyes darted between the three of us, weighing the situation. Her eyes fell on me last, narrowed and hateful. There was a darkness in them that I'd never seen before. I staggered back, afraid she would dart at me, but instead she twitched away and bolted for the front door, her ragged red dress fluttering behind her. She disappeared into the night, leaving us utterly stunned. After the police interviewed us and took pictures of the basement, they gave us the bad news that Monica was nowhere to be found. Her apartment was vacant, and she'd somehow covered her tracks well enough to avoid detection from police dogs. Apparently her apartment contained some evidence of her growing obsession with my husband, photos that were taken without Will's knowledge, personal information about both of us, and even a detailed weekly schedule of Will's day-to-day. Will helped us put together the pieces of Monica's final mental break. She had told Will and his co-workers that she was going to take a quick impromptu vacation that Thursday. The reality was that she had become consumed by jealousy when Will mentioned that we were having a house guest. Will thought her pouting response that he never invited her over was odd, but brushed it aside with an empty promise that she could come over any time she liked. She'd taken him at his word, quite literally. Monica had somehow gotten into the house and holed up in our unfinished basement. Down there the police found a phone charger, a bucket of excrement, a few dirty personal effects, and a crude table setting put together with old furniture and some items she'd squirreled away while everyone was gone or asleep. It was like some seriously twisted version of Lady and the Tramp. We apologized profusely to Sasha, but she laughed it off gracefully despite the trauma of the night. She and Will are asleep now, somehow. I've been writing this all night because even with the cops keeping watch, how the hell am I supposed to go to sleep knowing that Monica is still out there? Especially after I'd seen that cold, unfathomable evil in her eyes. It's Sasha's last night visiting, and I'll admit it's comforting to have her here. She actually invited us to Florida to stay with her and her new husband for as long as we wanted. Sasha, who I begrudgingly let stay in our home, who I hadn't talked to in so long, and who I accused of such terrible things. Sasha, who stabbed a deranged would-be murderer in my defense. Yeah. You bet your ass we're going to Florida tomorrow. Besides, I think Sasha and I have some more catching up to do. I'm so glad you're all okay. Take care of yourselves until Monica is found, please. And it's so good you discovered Sasha as such a real MVP. Hopefully your friendship can flourish again. Everyone needs a Sasha in their life. I'm glad you have such a good friend, OP. I am so glad you were wrong about Sasha. But I'm also sorry you went through that. Redemption arc for Sasha, yay. Burner phone perhaps?